Okay, these last three examples, the first one we're pulling out a GCF of a variable, so we haven't seen that yet. Notice I have 3 x's, 2 x's, and 1 x, so I can pull out a GCF of an x of all of these. So that's going to give me an x on the outside, x squared plus 3x minus 108. All right, now playing with these numbers, I just kind of took my calculator and I went 108 divided by 2 and realized, well, that's not going to work because 3 is a really small number. So then I did 3 and 4 and I kept going up and up and up and I got to 9. So 9 times 12 is 108. Okay, so if I'm using the add multiply method, I need a negative 108. So those two numbers I said were 9 and 12, so negative 9 and positive 12. Or positive 9 and negative 12. So the top two, 12 minus 9 is going to give me 3, or negative 9 plus 12 is going to give me 3. Okay, so that right there, that's going to be my two factors. So I need to keep the x on the outside because that's my GCF that I divided by, so that's important. I should have highlighted it. Then x minus 9 and x plus 12, positive 12. All right, and then how you would check that is you first want to FOIL these two, and then you want to go through and multiply everything by x and use the distributive property. All right, next one. So that leading coefficient has to be positive. So do we see how it's negative there? So that means I need to divide these all by a negative number, and that negative number is negative 2. So I can divide all of these by negative 2. All right, so negative 2 is my GCF. All right, so there's a negative 2 on the outside, leaves me with x squared plus 11x plus, because a negative divided by a negative is a positive, that gives me, what, 16? No, not 16, Mrs. Peggs. What are you doing right now? 24. All right, and then I'm using add multiply, so I need two numbers that add to 11 but multiply to 24. So 24 is 6 and 4, but that's going to give me 10, but 3 and 8, excuse me, 3 and 8 will give me, when I add those together, that will give me 11. All right, so that is my two pairs of numbers. Can't forget my GCF of negative 2, and then it's x plus 8, x plus 3, or you could have the other order, that's fine. Just don't forget about your GCF. And then the last one, this one's pretty common as a simple one, but might get you all mixed up if you forget to make the leading coefficient, the a value, positive. So it's a negative, so I'm going to actually factor out a negative 1. So when I factor out a negative 1, it gives me x squared minus 11x minus 12. Now I can find the two numbers that are going to multiply to 12 and add, multiply to negative 12 and add to negative 11. So those two numbers are going to be, so that's going to be add multiply. Two numbers that multiply to negative 12, well, that's negative 1 and 12, or 1 and negative 12, and the 1 and negative 12 are going to be the pair right here that you add together to give you negative 11. So my answers are going to be a negative 1 on the outside, x plus 1, x minus 12. Or you might just see a negative on the outside, x plus 1, x minus 12. Okay, they're all the same. So I'm just going to box the first one, but you could easily do the second one. All right, so if you have extra time after watching this video, feel free to go ahead and get started on the homework if you like. If you don't have extra time or you want to wait, I will see you in our live chats, Teams chat meeting. All right, thanks guys.